Alrighty. Well, let's get started again. Thank you so much for everyone for coming today to the 90 credit hour Sports Management Advantage program. We're so excited to have you guys here today and learn more about the program and talk more about this program and also hear from our panelists and their adventures as well. And then moving forward, just a little bit about myself. My name is Alexis or Lexi Graham. I'm one of the admissions specialists with Concordia University of St. Paul. And for today's agenda, we're going to be going into introductions with everyone, program highlights, again, the roundtable alumni discussions, next steps for what to do with our program, and the interactive Q&A towards the end. All right, so let's start off with introductions. Again, I'm one of the admissions specialists. I've been with CSP for a little over 6 months now. And then I will break this off to Dr. Hubbard, if you want to get started, tell about a little bit about yourself and your experience so far.
All right, hello, my name is Dr. Ryan Hubbard. I am the program chair for the Bachelor's of Sports Science. In terms of sports, sorry, sports management and our online courses. And I oversee some graduate courses, our graduate programs as well. This is my third year at Concordia, and this is also my 23rd year in higher education, and really excited about the opportunities we have at Concordia, especially obviously today talking about our 90 credit degree program in sport management.
Thank you. And then we'll pass this along to Sammy. Is that okay?
My name is Sammy Ponsonby, and I'm a premium service account executive at the Minnesota Wild. And I finished up my sports management master's with Concordia back in May.
Right. Excellent. And then we'll continue going down the list here. Next, I see Delani.
Hi, I'm Delaney Badali. I am a sales and service assistant with the Minnesota Lynx and Timberwolves, and I completed my bachelor in sports management last May.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And then last but not least is Brendan.
Hi, I'm Brendan O'Brien. I'm an account executive for both the Timberwolves and the Lynx, but I specialize on the Lynx side. I graduated with my bachelor's degree from Concordia St. Paul in December of 2024.
Wonderful. Thank you guys again so much for introducing yourselves today. We're excited to have you, and I'm also personally excited to learn about more of what you guys do and your experiences with our program today. Moving forward just a tad, we're just going to go into a little bit more of the program highlights for the 90 credit hour program for Bachelor's in Sports Management. So with our program, it is a little bit different than our traditional 4-year program. So with the 90 credit hour, you only look at 3 years or maybe less, depending on if you are coming in with transfer credits. So it's still the same career focus, core curriculum, and reducing elective by 30 credits compared to the additional 120 credit hour program with us. Students also save up 25 on tuition. It is still transfer friendly, and it's up to 67 credits for the 90 credit hour, compared to the 90 credits with the 120 credit hour degree program. Program is designed for working adults, transfer students, career pivoters, and speed to degree seekers. So if you are looking to do this program very quickly, this program is definitely a great fit for you. And you still have that flexibility of school work-life balance with this being a fully online program. Again, this being a fully online program is going to be 100% online. You'll be working with asynchronous coursework. So there is no set time or amount of time to be in class. You could just syllabus with your deadlines. So as long as you meet your deadlines, it's up to you and your schedule of when you complete that work. There is no face-to-face requirement and no campus visit required. But I always like to tell students, if you are looking to visit on campus, please come and do so. We'll be more than happy to talk with you face-to-face if you are in town. So please don't be a stranger. So you can do this program anywhere, anytime. Education. So you can be in-state, out-of-state, international. We like to have students from a little bit of everywhere. Our class sizes are small to around 22. So with that small class size, you'll get that sort of you'll get sort of that personal connection with either your professor or your peers. And online students still have access to on-campus resources. This includes our writing center, math lab, peer tutoring. So please feel free to take advantage of those resources because we are here to help you. All right, and with our program, it is industry aligned. It still has our industry aligned curriculum. So students will still go over research methods, sports management, sociology of sports and exercise. Students also touch on a little bit of law and sports, as well as sports marketing and fundraising. The courses are also going into planning and managing sports facilities, sports business, motor development, control, and motor learning. You guys also go into a little bit of sports analytics and AI, which is really popular nowadays, as well as some internship opportunities. All right. Now, I will actually pass this on to Dr. Hubbard for the roundtable discussion, and I'm excited to hear more from you guys and your experience. Thank you guys again so much for joining us today.
All right, welcome everybody, those of you that are watching live and those that you'll be watching this recording. Before we jump into our panel discussion, one of the first questions are what some careers graduates pursue, and this covers a broad spectrum based on the experiences of our students. And what I've seen thus far in my time here at Concordia St. Paul's, we've had K through 12, whether that be youth sports or high school sports, seen coaches, administrators. We have a student working in the state high school leagues, also local parks and recs, wherever that may be, again, locally, Minneapolis and St. Paul Parks and Recs, whether it's administrative uh, positions or programming, college athletics coaches, administrative roles within athletic departments, as well as you see today, professional sports, various roles within organizations. And one thing locally here we have in the Twin Cities, we have every major professional sports team. It's a competitive market, and it's a tribute to our students that we have on here today that they have earned jobs with these teams because as they well know, it's very competitive. And so I'm excited to have them here today. And then before we jump in, I just want to I want to say that these three are examples of students who have been proactive in their education, in their journeys, and taking advantage of opportunities, again, both in the classroom, whether it's virtually or in person, in some of their cases, and also in their experiential learning. Each one of these here students here had the privilege to work with their Twins Professional Sports Experience, which is an experiential learning thing that we have done in the past. It's currently on hold right now. But I watched each one of them work in their own ways and create opportunities for themselves. So I'm excited that they're here with us today. And so with that, how the panel is going to work, as everyone can see, there's questions on the board. And I would ask each one to kind of provide a little input here. So first question here is, why did you choose the sports management program? And as I see Delaney as the first of my alumni on the screen, I'm going to ask you to go first on this one.
Hi, yeah, so I chose Concordia because I've always been passionate about sports, but I wanted to be involved in beyond the game, just itself, being a fan behind the scenes and everything. I heard nothing but great things about Concordia, and I knew that my chosen program would be the same. What stood out to me was how intentional the professors were about preparing the students for the industry, not just necessarily teaching the theory, but also helping us understand how the sports organizations actually operate.
I see Brendan next, so I'll go to you, Brendan.
Yeah, I chose this program primarily just because of location, where it was for me, close to home, as well as in a major sports city, which has a lot of professional sports teams. To piggyback off of Delaney, I always wanted to work in professional sports as an athlete growing up. Just sports has kind of been a huge part of my life, and I wanted to continue that. After I retired from my career and kind of wanted to move into the business aspect of the sports world.
I originally went to Concordia for collegiate soccer, and as when my career started to come to an end, I was thinking about what I wanted to do once that would wrap up, and that was when I found the sport management program, and this was a way to keep sports as a part of my everyday life. Even if I wasn't a player on the team, I get to work and support on the product on the field or the court or the ice. So that's been a ton of fun. And that's initially what drove me to the sport management program.
Awesome. Our next question is what skills from the program have helped you the most, or what skills that you feel maybe didn't have and you developed? Again, feel free to have some you have some latitude to answer that however you'd like. We'll start with Brendan this time.
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, just how broad it was. When coming in, I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do, but being able to kind of learn every aspect allowed me to kind of guide myself and find out what I had interest in and what I would like to do beyond my career, as well as just the opportunities that were presented to me. If I said that I had interest to possibly Ryan, he would guide me, connect me with the right individual to kind of start a conversation and guide me in the right path, especially with kind of the professors that we have in this program. They're very interested in what you want to do and want to make sure that you're on the right path. And I feel like that skill and kind of the small classes allowed me to be noticed and excel.
Let's go, Sammy.
Yeah, going off what Brendan said, I think having a genuine curiosity about all the people that you're meeting throughout the program, whether it is a professor or an internship opportunity. Our opportunity that Hubbard mentioned with the twins was huge for all of us in terms of meeting the right people. And if you have that curiosity to know how they got to where they are and what jobs exist, there's a ton of jobs in the front office that you would have no idea unless you were in that environment. So I'd say just having a curiosity and networking with everyone you meet is the biggest skill you can have going through the program.
And Delaney.
I mean, also piggybacking off Brennan and Sammy, just being comfortable and speaking up in every situation. Concordia really helped me represent myself well when it came to the professional sports world. There's so many different people you will meet, whether you're sitting in what we call the den, eating lunch or dinner, to actually being in the field and working. Um, Time management was also huge from Concordia. Sports move very fast, so being able to adapt quickly and change the course of whatever you're doing is super useful.
Cool. The next question we have is how did the program impact your career? And I think some of you may have touched on it, but if you did, feel free to expound on it a little bit more if you feel comfortable. And this time we'll start with Sammy.
Yeah, so going back to what I said about the twins experience that we had the opportunity of being part of, I think that impacted my career immensely. It's what showed me, what the different departments look like, and that's kind of when I fell in love with the sales and the service side of the front office. And from that moment on, I kind of just went that direction. And it's crazy to think, like going through all my classes, I didn't know what I wanted. Thought I'd end up in marketing, and I love what I do now on a daily basis. And I wouldn't have known unless I'd met the right people over in that program and learned about their day-to-day life.
Delaney?
For me, the program impacted my career solely on the connections that I made inside of CSP and outside. Before I'd graduated, I was on my 5th internship, and just that hands-on experience that Concordia pushed really furthered me in what I wanted to do long term. I'm currently in emphasis on the fan engagement, and I do love that. Um, but yeah, I think just the program gave me clarity on what I enjoy, which was the fan engagement, the experiential marketing, and the community impact.
Thanks. Brendan?
Yeah, so after the conclusion of the twins internship that Ryan kind of touched on, you actually suggested that I went to a career fair that they were also hosting, and that's where I met the individual that then brought me on for an internship. I started my first 2 years at Concordia in person, and then I received an internship kind of the start of my third year there, where the internship required me to be in office 30 hours a week. So then I switched over to the asynchronous class. And it really helped that I was able to then be in the office. And then when I was done with my work day, I would actually go home and do my schoolwork. I like that I was able to manage my time well, of being able to do what I want to do as an individual outside of work, and really had a good work life as well as school balance of going to work, going home, doing homework, and then being able to kind of do what I would like to do with the rest of my free time. I feel like that part definitely impacted how I was able to learn both in office as well as learn the broad aspects of the sports world at the same time.
Well, if I could just touch on what those three just talked about too, is that I'd like to think with Concordia, especially with this new 90 credit degree program, is another way in which we're demonstrating flexibility to be student centered. And Brendan gave a great example. He was in person and had an internship opportunity that really he needed to be online, and he had that flexibility to do that. And again, highlighting too, both Delaney and Sammy, the experiential, I call it experiential learning, but whether it's internships, whatever it may be, the opportunities to get outside the classroom and engage in applicable, uh, again, whether it's internships, experiences that will move your career forward. I think, we've demonstrated that we really want our students to succeed and want to give you all the best chance to kind of pursue your path. And with that, we'll go to the next question, which is, what advice would you give to future students? And we'll go back with the Delaney.
My biggest piece of advice is just to take advantage of every hands-on experience you can get, whether it's volunteering, networking events, because those experiences matter just as much as the in-classroom ones do. As most know, the sports world is very relationship driven, so building those genuine connections can open humongous doors later. But also being reliable and definitely taking advantage of those small tasks that you're asked to do. I mean, even in my current position, I came in just to help seal envelopes and mail them out. So just being that hand wherever you can be goes a long way for you.
Go, Brendan.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off of Delaney, definitely make the most out of your experience here. Especially use your professors and any resources that they might present to you. I feel like that's definitely a huge boost. I would always have talks with Ryan, as well as an old professor of mine. And I told them what I wanted to do, and they would connect me and kind of say, "Hey, this came across, and I thought you might be interested in it. What do you think of this?" And definitely use the resources that you have. The school offers a ton of resources to kind of help you excel in your career. So just make the most out of it.
Sammy.
Yeah, I would say introduce yourself to everyone. Always ask questions. You can never learn enough about someone and who they might be connected with, and that could be a connection for you. The professors in the program really do care, and if they know what you want and what your end goal is, they're going to do what they can to help you. But if you don't communicate that, then they won't be able to do as much. So just always ask questions and do your best to stay in touch with classmates. I worked with Brendan over at the Timberwolves last season, and it's just fun to see, people stay around in the industry, and there are always going to be connections as you go through your career.
Awesome. And then one thing I would add too, and I think you all touched on it as well, is the other professors. Yes, I oversee the programs and I do teach several courses, but the backbone of our program is what we call CFBs, Contracted Faculty of Practice. And while that sounds like a long name, it's intentional because these are professionals in the field that are currently in various roles that relate to the world of sport. And I think it's a great advantage for our students to have the opportunity to connect with those. Again, even if it's asynchronously, again, you can take advantage of those professors that are teaching your courses, connect with them. And again, you talked about the networking piece and talking to everyone. For anyone joining this program, I'd advise you to take full advantage of every professor that you have in this program. And I think with that, we will open it up to questions if I'm correct. Oh, no, maybe not. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no worries. I'm more than happy to go over the admissions next steps with everyone as well today. Really, the next step is to just apply, or maybe even schedule a call with me to go over any further questions you may have and help you get started on those next steps for the application process. The application itself is free, so there is no application fee. And then after we receive your application, we'll really be looking for your official transcripts. And this needs to be transcripts from all pre-attended universities or colleges. If you have any further questions, even that comes to like maybe a closed school, please don't hesitate to give me a call. I'll be more than happy to help you find that transcript and help you on those next steps with us. All right. And any questions, comments, concerns, please let us know. All right, I actually do see a couple questions here.
Yeah, sorry,
Um,
I muted myself. And yeah, I see Holly asked, what does a typical week in an online course look like? I would say every Monday you'll get an announcement from your faculty, and they'll kind of outline the week, and ideally they'll tell you, you know, the deliverables that you have. Um, Every week we have at least one discussion board, if not two discussion boards that are relevant for that week's topic and the information you have in those courses. Um, so every week we'll have, and those typically are due Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time, because we're in the Central Time Zone here in Minnesota. And then two responses to peers are due Sunday, 7 p.m. Central as well. And with that, any assignments that are due, we typically kind of have that 7 p.m. cutoff, just because we don't want everyone staying up super late trying to get their work done, and also trying to help you with some time management as well. Obviously, life occurs. If there's issues with trying to get something done in time, again, I advise anyone to reach out to their instructor as quickly as possible, let them know what's going on. Again, we give grace because that's we all need some grace. Which courses are considered the most challenging and why? I could maybe have our alumni chime in on this. I think motor learning is probably one of them. I would say research methods because everyone loves research. I don't know if there's those are two, and again, I don't think those are um, difficult courses, just maybe outside the scope of the sport management focus. But again, and then also we have a new one which I helped develop, which is our intro to sport analytics and AI. I wouldn't say it's challenging, but as we develop and grow that course, we're going to really try to dive in more as I learn more personally too about how to use different AI functions and programming things like that. We want to kind of grow that course as well. I don't know, Delaney, Sammy, or Brendan, do you have any courses that you consider challenging during your time in undergrad?
I mean, research methods for sure was a little more time consuming. Um, and sport law was difficult, but
Oh
in
yeah.
my opinion, the most interesting of all the classes. So I enjoyed it the most. It just a little more work.
Yeah. Delaney or Brennan, do you have anything? If you don't, that's fine. But if there's any course that sticks out,
Mine was very similar to Sammy. Research methods. I did love the class, but once you're creating your paper and having to get your send out your like questionnaire and get, I mean, I did mine on football athletes, one of my papers, so reaching out to different athletes from different schools in the metro area, just trying to get them to fill out my Google form was pretty frustrating, but um, yeah, like Sammy said, just a lot more work, but it was a fun class for sure.
I would have to agree, both of mine with Sammy. The sports law class I loved, but it definitely was challenging. Just the law aspect, of course, is going to be a little bit more difficult, but I was very interested. So I wouldn't say that it was extremely difficult, but a little bit of a larger workload. Is same with kind of the research methods. I would say it wasn't too challenging, just didn't pique my interest as much as the rest of the classes.
yeah, that's thanks for you all for sharing that. And I'm currently teaching their undergrad research methods because I teach our graduate one as well. And I kind of chuckle with Delaney because we just did surveys last week, and some of the comment was, "I wish to get more people involved, and we're working on ways to make sure that try to get maximal feedback again in a 8 week class. Um, time moves quickly, and so we're trying to get that in. But I think that was, and as I've seen in research methods, again, a challenging course, I think our students are doing a great job, especially in the discussion boards, talking about the different uh, articles we're asking them to find, whether it's quantitative, qualitative, mixed methods, whatever it may be. And so that's pretty fun. And I heard sports law mentioned again. Sports law is its own language, but I do think it's fascinating, and we do require that one both at the undergrad and grad level because if you're going to work in the world of sport, you should have some base knowledge on what's legal and what's not. And so um, I think those are valuable. And I see a few more Q&A. I think this was asked as well, what professional experience do faculty have in the sport industry? You kind of alluded to that before. We look for those that are in the sports industry. Um, we have one who's the head of strategy for Minnesota United. She teaches some courses for us. We have some that are in kind of in the sport and fitness world that teach some of our courses as well. So a kind of a wide swath of experience within the sports industry. You got some entrepreneurs that kind of have their own niche in the sports industry as well. Uh, let's see. And also, yes, can we hear about what your project were and the results? Um, Again, for research methods, they didn't necessarily have to create or have any results for their for that course. At least, again, I don't know if we've redesigned it since you guys have done it, but those just a lot of looking up and understanding the different types of research that's available to them. Does the program support pathways into graduate school? Yes, it does. I would, obviously, on our part, we like to keep people within the Concordia St. Paul programs, and Sammy's an example of someone. Again, we've kind of changed that program, but Sammy was in a 3-2 program that has since gone away. But we do, again, the flexibility, especially 90 credit, for those people that are coming in and have credits for transfer and are knowing what they want to do. This is a way to fast track and get to the graduate program quicker, especially going through us. But yes, definitely gateways for graduate school. And that's one of the avenues those people that have interest, we want to have them pursue that. I think. And I don't know if any of you, again, kind of going back to, I'm assuming research methods on the projects. I don't know if any of you want to talk any more about research methods or if you remember it, but if there's anything that sticks out to you in terms of what you had to research, feel free to share. Nope, I think they're good. All right. Let's see. So I'll make sure I think I covered every question here.
Sorry, I was also on mute just now. Um, so no, I think we covered everything so far. We did cover about the projects and the results. Or if you guys are so remember your results, please let us know. Um I'll be more than happy to like hear some of those answers. I think that's amazing. And then yes, you already talked about the professional experience to faculty having in the sports industry, correct?
Yes.
Right. Wonderful. All right, I think that is a little bit of everything for today. Thank you guys again so much for your time and flexibility today and sharing your stories with us. We really do appreciate it here. Um, and to maybe end things off, is there anything I guess that um, you want to tell future CSP students joining our program?
I would just say I loved Concordia for the location it was. Like Ryan said, with all the different sports teams, you're kind of in the center of it all. So take advantage of that. I mean, we all did an unpaid internship. Sometimes that's where you start. So just being open to new things and it all turns into something. So just take advantage of the location that CSP is.
I'd kind of piggyback off that as well, with the location, but also the course has been kind of set up for success. As you can see, I've had the pleasure of working around everyone else on the panel here, and it's definitely, the course is working, and it gets individuals into kind of the professional sports world, whether it be collegiate or even at the high school level. But also, we put in the work and the effort. So if you put in the effort into this class, you will get the most out of it, as well as the opportunities to then do stuff outside of class. I would definitely suggest this course to anyone.
Yeah, similar to Brendan and Sammy, just I think my biggest thing was I was expecting to get my first internship with a professional team, and I was very quickly humbled that that is not always the case. My first internship was a high school athletic director's assistant. Um, so just getting that experience wherever you can. Sometimes you have to start at the bottom, but you'll always end up at the top if you just push yourself and communicate to where you want to be.
And I would just add again on the academic side, if you're local, you can take advantage of being in the Twin Cities metro area for if you want to come in again using Brennan as an example, we do allow those that are online to come in person classrooms if they so desire. It's not strict and strident rule there. Also. If you're not in the Twin Cities area, again, we're a small enough and agile program. And again, my door is always open, whether it's on a Zoom or whatever it may be, to help you. And again, I think all three of these alumni showed you that the value that they had in their internships and other experiences outside of the classroom as well. Again, adding to the programs. And really, we will do our best. And I say we, that's me, and others too. Again, the other professors you may have can use all of us as resources to help you find that internship that's really going to help you get to that next level. Because we really want our students to excel and have these opportunities that you see before us today.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for your kind last words for us. I'm excited to learn more about this program myself, being sort of new. I know I've learned a lot today. I'm sure everyone else has learned so much more today as well. Thank you guys again so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you guys soon.
All right, thanks everybody.